Good morning. All right, we're live, Paul.
Oh, we are. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, gee,
we are.
thanks,
I'm like, what are we
Tanya.
waiting for?
And welcome, audience, to SBA Today for the week of July 23rd, where our motto is likely helpful, definitely entertaining.
Definitely.
Tanya, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to talk about details on the new working capital program because they have been released. We've all been waiting for that. The restaurant industry insights from Citizens Bank, which is very cool. And the new SBA 1086 is now online at www.sba.gov/documents for those who sell on the secondary market. So, but first, as we always do, we've got the story that comes up. And this week, oh boy, initially mine was going to be a dog is a dog is a dog. But now it has changed to a dog is a dog is a dog. A shoe is a shoe is a shoe. And a deal is a deal is a deal. Now, reason being, I adopted my dog, Kodak, right, a couple of years ago, and he came from the Freedom Service Dogs. So he was being trained to be a service dog. He flunked out of the program, but apparently he might not make a good service dog, but he's an amazing pet, right? He's a lab. So you expect that labs can go hiking and, they're pretty sturdy and stuff like that, right? So I take him on a 5-mile hike with a friend who's got a German Shepherd and a Malamute, whatever. These dogs are running around everywhere. So Kodak is running around with them. Well, a dog is a dog is a dog is not exactly true. I did not check like the pads of Kodak's feet. And let me tell you, they were like a baby's butt. They're soft, whatever, not normal. It is not normal. So he tore 2 of his pads. It was awful. And I had no idea. So 5 miles, right? We get back. Anyway, he's in bandages for a couple of weeks. I had to, doctor him up, and it was horrible. So, kind of like my hat says, right? Bad decisions make good stories. This one was a bad decision, did not make a good story. Anyway, so there's the thing on the dog. So not all dogs are alike. Sedona. I was in Sedona over the weekend doing some climbing with a friend. And the first question was, hey, do you have hiking boots? Yeah, I have hiking boots, right? I got them. Yeah, I did not particularly think about the fact that these darn things are probably 10 years old, maybe haven't used them for like 7. So yeah, they looked fine from the outside, but let me tell you, they weren't. So we started going up Cathedral, and a mile and a quarter up, the whole sole of one of those boots completely came off. So I had some hair ties, right? And I'm like rigging it up, putting these hair ties around. I'm not kidding you. That's exactly what I did. And I was like, okay, I can make it. This thing's like 5 miles round trip the way we did it. Yeah. A quarter mile later, the other one completely falls off. I have no more hair ties. I'm like, what? Seriously, completely off. I will actually post pictures, right, on my LinkedIn page. I will actually post pictures of these daggum shoes. So I'm like leaving black stuff all over the mountain, by the way, because it's dry rot. These things are done. Yeah, but I somehow manage. I'm asking every girl I pass, right? Do you guys have any hair ties? Does anybody have any duct tape? Whatever. Yeah, didn't take any of that. So that was a bad decision, not taking duct tape, not taking something, right, just in case. And the bad decision of, gee, do you need to get a new pair of shoes? This is before I go. No, I'm good, right? I'm good. Bad decision. Anyway, I got down the mountain. It was great. I don't know how, but did. And went and bought a new pair of hiking boots. And so then the second climb, Bell Rock, I was like a little billy goat. So anyway, that bad decision actually became a good story because it was hilarious. And the pictures are, you can't make this up, right? Then moving on to deals. A deal is not a deal is not a deal, or a deal is a deal is a deal. Not true. So deals that come to you or whatever, on the surface, they may look like they won't work, or they may look like they will work, right? You have to dig in to figure out what the difference is with that deal. If your bank doesn't take certain things because it doesn't fit their credit box, I get it. And banks are going to do what banks are going to do, and they have the right to do that. But not every deal is the same as that one that might have had to be liquidated or something along those lines, and or had an issue. So we need to dig in a little bit deeper. So Anyway, point of the whole daggum story, right? As my hat says here, which has become my favorite hat, and I've got the story around this darn thing, is bad decisions make good stories. Sometimes good decisions make bad stories. And, it kind of just all goes around. But anyway, all dogs aren't the
Wow.
same. All shoes aren't the same. All deals aren't the same. Anyway.
Well,
So,
I want to add something to that because I was
yeah.
thinking to myself too. Think about like you're
Mhm.
doing a meeting with a CPA. Okay.
Right.
All of us as a BDO have done plenty of CPA visits, business
Mhm.
broker visits. We know what to say.
Yeah.
It's like your shoe, right?
Mhm.
I have a pair of shoes. I'm going to go in there and give you the same spiel. But what happens if they're a
Mhm.
specialty CPA or something like that? What's going to happen to your shoe?
100%.
It's going to start to fall apart, right?
100%. Or your dog. Your dog.
Or your
That
dog.
dog has baby butt pads. It doesn't have normal scratchy pads, that
Right.
you like. It's
So
like,
you gotta be careful and you gotta prepare for each
yeah.
and every adventure in your life, right?
Every adventure. And then keep having some more adventures because you never know
That's
where
right. You
bad
are the
decision
queen
might
of adventures, Tanya.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially lately.
Oh, I have been on some adventures lately. I am on one. Anyway.
Hey, we're
All right,
going to
well.
get into the news,
Yep.
and the working capital program was released, and so I was a little excited boy with my highlighter and my little booklet, and I'm sitting there going through stuff and thinking questions. And
Okay, yeah, he is definitely a bigger nerd than I am.
yeah, I know. Please, if you want to beat me up later, feel free. But I did all the work for you, so all you have to do is listen to this next 5-minute piece, and boom, you know everything about the program, right?
Do it.
So here's the deal. So unless you are already approved to be a PLP export working capital program, you have to get a new delegated authority for this new program. Otherwise, you have to submit GP. So keep that in mind. That's something you have to think about because it was probably been a while since you've applied for any PLP. There is a process. It's a unique process because I'm going through it myself. So make sure you're doing that. And a couple other things I'm just going to kind of pinpoint on this program. You must be in business at least 12 months. Okay, that's an important piece on this. If it is attached to a business acquisition, then there's an exception to that rule. These are borrowing-based certificate or supporting a specific project kind of line. If it's a project of towards a transaction, it's got to have an assignment, and there's some things on that. But for the most part, I would assume most people are going to use this as a borrowing-based certificate like you would your asset-based lending ABLs that you already do at your institution. This cannot be used to finance a floor plan. Sorry, car dealerships. Fund a tax refund. No foreign transactions, and you can't obviously fund a change of ownership. So annual reviews are required, and you have to do a field examination for over $1 million. So here's the core of the product, and I think there's some cool things on this. One is the max term is 60 months. There's no term out, 60 months, but it's got to be on a borrowing base with annual renewals. Interest rates are the same as what you had before. And what we have in SBA. The cool thing about this is the SBA fee. The SBA fee will be charged annually, but it's not the 3.75% that you're used to. It's under 1%. It's substantially under 1%. So it's that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those. So it's a really cool program. It's a line of credit. It is what it is. But I recommend you taking a look at the little booklet that they came out with. Get yourself familiarized with this. In my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but in my opinion, I think this is going to replace the Capline product. That's my opinion. Because I just think this is a lot easier to do, and then you don't have to worry about the other programs. So that's that. There's also one more thing. There's a new form, a 2534. Yes, a new number and form which goes to your 1919 if you have to do something on this. So that's the Reader's Digest version. on that. And I look forward to seeing what we can produce on that as an SBA team. So are you guys going to participate, Tanya?
I don't think that we are. At least at this point, we're saying no. So we'll see what happens down the line, though. Yeah.
Interesting.
How about you? Are you?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not ones. If you think about it, we're not ones that typically do anything revolving anyway, though.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's kind of your shop.
Not outside of Missouri, at least, I should say. We don't do anything. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about restaurants.
Let's do it. All right. So this one is thanks to Citizens Restaurant Industry Insights, which is great. So Citizens Bank released their July 2024 restaurant franchise and multi-unit updates, which highlights the headwinds restaurants are making or facing, I should say, as consumers undergo pressure with spending. Coffee and snack type restaurants and whatnot are up 4.6%. Burgers, 0.4%. Mexican, 0.3%. I know, right? And fast casual is 0.3%. Restaurants, they've maintained their sales growth under these conditions and whatnot, but other restaurant types, not so much. And they're seeing their sales fall behind, actually. Restaurants are having to navigate these conditions because we, as consumers, right, are having our own sets of issues with what's going on. Some of the major themes in the industry are the rising menu prices. Now, I've seen that. Holy moly. And I can understand that for the consumer, right? It's hard to keep up sometimes with these menu prices. So as we've seen, restaurant prices are increasing beyond many people's comfort. No kidding, even my own. From 2014 to 2024, average menu prices grew by anywhere from 39 to 100%, exceeding the 31% inflation during that same period. Now, we all know much of this had to do with the pandemic and COVID and, employees and the increased employee pricing, whatever. So restaurants had to do what restaurants had to do. During the last year, inflation at grocery stores has risen by 1%, while inflation at restaurants 4%. So what do you think people are going to do? They're going to be dining in a heck of a lot more than they're going to be dining out. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's going to come down the pipes with this when it comes to our restaurants? So fewer consumers dining out, and then Citizens Bank expects that a key strategy moving forward with these restaurants is going to be to increase their promotions and coupons and probably like referral situations and things like that. Refer a friend, bring somebody in. Restaurants may also try to improve foot traffic through operational improvements, menu innovations, loyalty programs, and marketing initiatives. I don't disagree with any of that. I mean, I think they really brought up a very good point with our restaurant industry. What are you guys doing with restaurants right now, Paul?
We do some restaurants, and they're actually performing well as of right now, because there is plenty of lazy people like myself that would rather eat out than cook for myself, and my body looks like it. But it is what it is, right? But we are seeing prices, for restaurants kind of remaining the same. But when we're doing our annual reviews on the restaurants, they're actually doing quite well. So I'm hoping that kind of continues. I think the key is your takeout, DoorDash, Postmates, whatever, those types of things, I think is a huge part of restaurants' businesses now. So
what's crazy too, and I think that's going to help us a bit, Paul, in some of our restaurants, like acquisitions, let's say, like I'm doing one right now, potentially, of an acquisition of a restaurant that hasn't done so well. All of these, type upcoming things that they can do and create in order to bring more business in is likely going to help when it comes to, if you're a projection-based bank and you'll look at those projections, these are amazing things that you can add into your projections. You can add into what you're intending to do moving forward in order to obviously create better revenue for yourself and the bottom line. So
true that.
It'd be interesting. Yeah.
And last but not least, our last topic on this is the new 1086. That is now online. If you haven't taken a look at it, or if you even play with the 1086, if you don't even know what the 1086 is, that means you don't sell loans on the secondary market. But if you do, you know the 1086, and it is awesome. SBA.gov/documents. It is substantially easier. So go and get your new 1086 today.
Oh, and look at this. So we got Rick Cohen out here popping up saying he knows his hat. Yes, he does. He's with Endorphin Entertainment, and I was out there climbing with him and his group.
Nice.
Yes. He was the one that told me I probably need a new pair of shoes, and
Yeah, good call, Rick.
I said no, and I'm like, I want to make a bad decision because I want a story. Anyway, thanks for popping in there, Rick. Okay, so if you want the news as soon as it breaks, obviously, typically we're on Tuesdays now, y'all, at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 11 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be here again next week on Tuesday. However, if you want us outside of the I guess breaking news, which would be on LinkedIn and YouTube at that time, then any of your streaming platforms where you get your podcast would be great. Also, if you are heavy duty in the SBA world, check out our family of products, which would be the BDO show and the Art of SBA Lending, wherever you get your favorite podcast. If you've got something that you want us to talk about and or want to reach out to us, that would be the art. Let's see, what is it?
SBA Today at artofsba.com.
Art of SBA. There you go. We will see you guys next week. And hey, have a great one. Make some good decisions.
Later.
Actually, make some bad decisions. See ya.